Jamaica joins Afreximbank. Jamaica has officially acceded to the establishment agreement of African Export-Import Bank, Afreximbank, becoming the 13th Caribbean Community CARICOM member state of the African Multilateral Financial Institution. The historic signing took place on the sidelines of the 49th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the Caribbean Community. According to Afreximbank, Jamaica's accession marks a major achievement in the growth of global Africa, an intercontinental partnership committed to economic transformation and self-determination for African nations and their diaspora. The move unlocks an additional US $1.5 billion financing for Jamaica and other Caribbean economies, raising Afreximbank's total approved facility for the region to US $3 billion, contingent upon full CARICOM membership, it stated, calling the signing an incredible opportunity for even greater transformative impact. Afreximbank President and Chairman Prof. Benedict Orama said Jamaica's accession strategically positions the bank to deepen financial engagement in the region, including long-term capital investments to support the growth and development of small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, in Jamaica. We are thrilled to welcome Jamaica into the Afreximbank family. Jamaica's accession to the partnership agreement marks a pivotal step towards realizing the vision of our forefathers, a united and prosperous global Africa, built on a platform of South-South cooperation. The partnership agreement unlocks Afreximbank's financing solutions, trade facilitation tools, and investment opportunities, empowering Jamaican businesses to access African markets while fostering reciprocal trade. Acting Chief Operating Officer for Afreximbank's Caribbean office, Okechukwu Ihejirika, added, "The initiative the bank has taken coming into the region is something that no other institution can make happen apart from Afreximbank. And I am happy for the response from the governments in the CARICOM region. That shows that we are now ready to forge a greater partnership between Africa and CARICOM. This is something no other entity can do for us, and we are now rising up to the challenge." Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness, welcomed the agreement as a strategic boost to Jamaica's development efforts. "This is a significant and strategic step that strengthens Jamaica's ability to access increased trade financing, investment support, and technical assistance. The agreement creates real opportunities for Jamaica to benefit from Afreximbank's expanding suite of financial instruments, including trade guarantees, project financing, and capital support tailored to the needs of developing economies. It positions Jamaica to tap into new sources of funding for critical sectors such as manufacturing, logistics, agriculture, and the creative industries, while laying the foundation for deeper collaboration between African and Caribbean businesses." He also underscored the critical role of the private sector, stating, "Financial institutions, including JN Bank, which I must commend, will have a key role to play in these regulations, not just through funding, but through innovation in fintech, small and medium-sized enterprise, SME financing, and diaspora bonds." JN Bank Chairman Keith Levy also welcomed Jamaica's accession, stating that the formalization of the agreement opens the door for Jamaica to connect capital with opportunity. "The Caribbean needs a diversification of financing for important initiatives across this region, including investments in infrastructure, technology, and cultural assets," he shared. "We also see the growing economic activities in Africa in areas such as science, technology, and medicine, coupled with the fact that there is a young, educated population who will purchase goods and services and visit the Caribbean as tourists. Through trade and cooperation, we can and shall achieve mutual economic growth." Reflecting on the origins of the JN Group, the parent company of JN Bank, which was founded in the 1800s to provide financial security to still relatively recently emancipated Africans in Jamaica, Mr. Levy noted that the partnership and discussions at the side meeting are key steps towards unlocking broader economic freedoms for people of African descent. The Caribbean people are part of the African diaspora, and as such we must take advantage of the opportunities that are available in Africa and the Caribbean. You can fight against many things, but you cannot fight against the demographics of the world, he said. There are similarities in the objectives of Afreximbank, Bank, JN Group, and NTT, and all this interest comes about bridging transportation and all links between African and the Caribbean. Today is one giant step for the Caribbean and Africa, he added. The side event of the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting, which featured a African-Caribbean symposium and African village, was held at the Half Moon Hotel Conference Center under the theme From Shared Roots to a Shared Future, Africa and the Caribbean Unite. This historic signing builds on the momentum of the inaugural Afro-Caribbean Trade and Investment Forum, ACTIF, held in Bridgetown, Barbados in September 2022, where Caribbean nations reaffirmed their commitment to closer Africa-Caribbean cooperation. Since then, Afreximbank has hosted successive ACTIFs in Guyana, 2023, and the Bahamas, 2024, with the fourth forum scheduled for 28, the 29th of July, 2025, in Grenada. Since establishing its regional office, Afreximbank has approved over US $700 million in financing across the Caribbean, with a pipeline exceeding US $2 billion. Investments have supported key sectors such as energy, tourism, education, and small business development across Barbados, St. Lucia, Suriname, Grenada, and the Bahamas. The bank also provided over US $4.3 million in pandemic-related assistance through the Africa Vaccine Acquisition Task Team, AVAT, to the Bahamas, Antigua and Barbuda, and Trinidad and Tobago. TNT to be accepted with open arms. Trinidad and Tobago is not yet a member of Afreximbank. Last June, then Prime Minister Dr. Rowley stated that the government had not joined most of its regional neighbors in signing up with the bank because Afreximbank requires that both its local and foreign employees based in TNT receive tax-free salaries. Ihajirika told Express Business in March that discussions about Trinidad and Tobago joining Afreximbank are still ongoing. For Trinidad, the conversation is definitely ongoing. Our arms are open and ready to welcome them, as quickly to let them come in. But we do understand that sometimes governments need to take time. We don't need to rush governments. Let them take time and look at every detail in the agreement and raise comments where possible. And then we are happy to respond to those comments because the agreement we have is actually signed currently by 54 countries in Africa and 12 in the Caribbean, Ihajirika said. It is a standard agreement, but sometimes when you are applying a standard agreement, you probably just need to sort things out, smooth certain things here and there to make it fit into their own system, which is technically in order. So we appreciate that Trinidad is taking their time to review, and we are very keen to welcome them very much into the fold, he said. Ihajirika said Afreximbank has led investment trips to CARICOM, resulting in pipeline projects valued at over US $2 billion so far, and Trinidad and Tobago could benefit from these investments. We are also happy to see the opportunities in Trinidad for us to support. We talked about earlier the fact that an entity from Nigeria is coming to TNT, and I also know too that on the reverse side, Republic Bank, which is Trinidadian, is also in Africa. So it means that even before an agreement is signed, I am believing strongly that Trinidad is actually poised, and they are really open to the conversations that we are having about Africa and Caribbean trade promotion, he stated. So on that basis, I am now optimistic that it's just a matter of time getting everything sorted out and then welcome them into the fold. And just look at the support we have given to all of the other members' countries, and we can look at supporting all of the qualifying transactions coming out of Trinidad, Ihajirika said. A groundbreaking ceremony for the Afreximbank African Trade Center in Barbados was held in March.